Adventure seekers, welcome back. Since we met last, there's been a lot of discussion about our hero's maturity level and just whether or not this young magic user has what it takes to survive the quest. Speaking of the quest, when we left off last, we had a choice to make. Press on in search of our Uncle Zed, or return to the council to seek their advice. Friends, the votes are in. They've been tallied, and foolish or not, you all have chosen to place your trust in Morgan. Grab your wand, gather your spells, gather your wits. It's time now to return to Dragon of Doom. I'm tired, you say, as you rub your aching leg muscles. We haven't stopped to sleep or eat for more than 2 days now, ever since we started following this trail to the north. I'm not tired, says Hinoki. Of course you're not. You've been riding on my shoulder ever since we left home. But I need to stop and eat and get a good night's sleep, or I won't be able to go any further. Then we can continue on after Uncle Zed. I could use something to eat too, says Hinoki. Why don't I fly ahead and see what I can find? All right, you say, as you sink to the floor of the forest. Come back and tell me something good. You rest your head against a large shaggy tree and watch as a small dragon flaps skyward. Soon, images of distant treetops and rolling countryside start to flash through your mind. You see a whitewashed building thatched with fresh rushes and a sign blowing in the wind. That building! It looks as if it might be an inn. Get a little closer so I can see what it is, you direct. I agree, Hinoki's voice begins inside your head, and then his words break off, and you see the horizon flash by at an incredible speed. The forest draws closer and closer, and then branches and leaves flash by in your mind, almost faster than you can see them. You close your eyes and throw your arms up in front of your face, even though you know that you are only seeing what Hinoki sees and cannot be harmed. Suddenly, there's a great snap and the picture fades. Huh? How many times have I got to tell you, do not do that to me, you shout as Hinoki drops onto your shoulder. If you're going to do that, break the mind link. You know I get airsick. I'm sorry, Morgan, I forgot. And what would you have me do? Order a meal at the inn and eat it on a plate with silverware? Quarreling amicably, the two of you continue on towards the building you saw through Hinoki's eyes. Oh, maybe our luck's about to change, you say, as you look at the sign that shows a roasted duck and a mug of ale. Travelers welcome, reads the sign. The last rays of the setting sun light your way to the front door of the inn. The latch gives way beneath your hand, and you see a large whitewashed room. Heavy beams cross the low ceiling, and hanging from each beam are mugs of copper, pewter, and bronze. A hearty fire crackles on the hearth, and the aroma of roast lamb fills the air. May I help you, sir? Asks a small, nervous voice. Oh, there you are, you say, eyeing the haggard man who suddenly appears at your side. I'd like a good dinner, a bed for the night, and some information. Dinner? Bed? Information? Repeats the innkeeper, wringing his hands nervously. What's the matter with this fellow? He's acting very strange, Hinoki's voice says inside your head. Yes, you repeat. A bed for the night, dinner, and some information. I'm looking for my uncle. He's very, very old. His name is Zed. Perhaps he stopped here. It's the only northbound road leading out of the mountains, and we know he came this way. Before the words are even out of your mouth, the innkeeper is shaking his head from side to side. No beds, he says. We're full up, and we've nothing to eat. Not a crumb in the place. And I've never seen your uncle. He's never been here, I'm positive. You have to leave now. I was just closing. What are you talking about? You cry angrily. There's not a soul in the place. Besides us, and I smell roast lamb. And why would you be closing? It's barely nightfall. As for leaving, why, it's starting to rain. I'm cold, tired, and hungry, and I have no desire to sleep in some wet woods when I can stay here. The innkeeper wrings his hands and twitches nervously. Suddenly, a smaller figure no higher than his shoulder appears at the doorway behind him. Although the figure's narrow face is covered with smudges of soot and hundreds of freckles, you decide that the creature is a girl. Her head is covered with a tight mat of red gold curls that look as though they have been hacked at with a dull knife. Her clothes are a mismatched mess of patches and wrinkles. Only the brightest blue eyes that you have ever seen save the girl from looking like a walking rag bag. We will stay here for the night, you say firmly. Unseen by the innkeeper, the girl shakes her head from side to side. "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You should leave," insists the innkeeper. The girl nods her head in agreement, her eyes never leaving your face. "The child seems to be trying to tell us something," says Hinoki's voice. "Why don't we do what she says? Sleeping in the woods wouldn't kill us. There's something odd going on around here." Travelers welcome. That's what the sign read, and yet we were greeted by an innkeeper and a very strange girl who insisted we should be on our way. Rain is coming, we're hungry, and we're tired. We have a choice to make. Adventurers, what'll it be? Should we insist on staying at the inn for the evening or heed the advice we were given? Comment below or wait for the poll later this week in stories and let me know just where will our adventure go next. As always, the choice is yours.